Hello, it's Tom Donald from the London Contemporary School of Piano. Today I'm going to show you how to improvise on modes. And if you're a fan of our work at the London Contemporary School of Piano, there's two things you should do. Firstly, you should head on over to our website, Contemporary School of Piano. And secondly, you should ask for our free resources pack. It's a great substitute for these videos. Having said that, if you're really serious about getting your playing to the next level, you should inquire about some of our courses, such as our Complete Musician course and our Groove Everyday course, which really cover vital areas of holistic music making on the piano. So modes. What are modes on the piano, and how do we make beautiful music out of modes, more importantly? How do we compose with them, improvise with them? So we'll start with a couple of nice simple modes today and see what it is we can do with them. How can we cook with them? Let's start with a Lydian mode. I'm in a rather Lydian mood, you could say, right now. So I'm going to start with this one. So what is a Lydian mode? Well, if I play this on a C, if you get a C major scale, or any major scale, I'm just simply sharpening the fourth note of the scale. It's good to put the pedal down. I know that's not a conventional classical way of practicing a scale, but if you put the pedal down, you can hear all the notes in the mode sort of melt together, and you get an idea of the sonic signature of that particular mode, and that's going to help us understand ways we can play with that mode. So the first thing I'm doing right now is I'm just getting this Lydian mode, and I'm just moving around notes in the Lydian scale. It's really quite a powerful exercise. It's quite simple. And it's good to train our muscle memory to know the shapes of that mode as well. So, how can I go further with this? Well, let's find some chords that are compatible with that mode. So I generally want to use chords that use the notes of this mode. So perhaps a C major 7 to a D major to an E minor. That fits quite nicely. So why don't I play this chord progression? Now I'm going to move the chord progression to the left hand and improvise in this mode. So I just created a little short improvisation. Now this will often happen when you're improvising in modes, is you will potentially collapse into another key that uses the same notes. Like a C Lydian mode, by the way, uses exactly the same notes as a G major scale. It's just that the starting point in a G major scale would be a G. So I was a little conscious of that. I was sort of collapsing into an E natural minor scale, but I didn't let that worry me too much. But I thought, well, maybe I'll spend a bit more time on that C major 7 to sort of still try and maintain some of that Lydian mode spirit. And if you do collapse it into another key, well, that might not be a bad thing after all. What we're doing is we're just exploring different angles of creating music. So let's find another mode and another key maybe. So maybe we'll think in the key of F, the key center of F. I play my F major. Now I'm going to do one very simple thing to this F major scale. I'm going to flatten the 7th note. Means I've now got a B flat and an E flat, and I'm therefore playing the F Mixolydian mode. Mixolydian scale is, basically Greek for flatten the 7th. It's a major scale where you flatten the 7th. Don't get intimidated by these fancy terminologies. You don't have to speak Greek to be a musician, just in case you didn't know that. Mixolydian modes, they're used in folk music, they're used in beautiful Indian ragas, they're used in rock and roll, they're used in Beatles songs, they're used everywhere. So it's uplifting, I think. It's really uplifting sound to flatten that seventh so you don't have that semitone. You've got that tone at the end of the mode. So how are we going to play with this? Well, let's come up with a progression then. F, what's another chord that's compatible? Well, E flat major, B flat major, F major. I'm now going to create like a Mixolydian bass line. And all I'm doing is playing an octave in the left hand. This is really fun to do. The octave, fifth, seventh, flattened seventh for the Mixolydian mode, and the octave. And I'm just going to, play around with those notes. Yeah. And I'll put these chords in the right hand. Tell you what, there's such a better way to practice scales, right? Rather than just going up and down the piano 4 octaves. It gives it context. I call this practicing scales like you're squeezing an orange to get the best juice out of the scale. You're getting the most you can get out of that scale. Like, what can you do with it? How can you play with it? And that's the spirit you want to approach these modes. Okay, we've got time for one more. Let's go with the Dorian mode. So the Dorian mode is a little bit like a minor scale. You've got a flattened third, but unlike a harmonic minor scale, you've got a flattened third and a flattened seventh only in relation to the major scale. So for instance, if you're doing that on C, flattened third, flattened seventh. Has somewhat an Elizabethan feel to it, doesn't it? You hear it in a lot of folk music. But again, these modes are used in cultures all over the world. They've got many different contexts to them. And so let's create a chord progression on the Dorian. I'm going to go D minor, a C major over a D in the left hand, then to a G major. I'm just going to keep the D droning in the left hand over those 3 chords. D minor, C major over the D, G major over the D, D minor. It's just glorious to play with these beautiful old scales, and it's just a privilege to make music, because this music has been around in our DNA on our planet for years and years and centuries, and it's in our blood. And I think in the modern life we live, we forget that. We are a little disconnected from that. And I always feel that improvising and playing on modes, you're connecting to some beautiful ancestral spirit that, is back many, many years. I know that's not something everyone might agree with me on, but I definitely have that connection when I play this music. And also, by the way, I'm sitting on a 100-year-old Blutner piano. This piano was built over 100 years ago, actually. And I mean, it's amazing that some things are built to last. I can even feel the ghosts in this piano when I play it. Just the warmth of the sound. So just sitting in this room improvising on modes, it's almost somewhat an ethereal experience, I have to say. So play with the music and let the music take you through those moments. And if you want to connect with the deepest self with your playing and your music, you're ready to sort of take that leap and go away from just academic musical study, you should consider some of our trainings we have in this area. One of the courses we have that has a profound impact on students all over the world is our Complete Musician Piano Essentials course. If you want to learn more about that course, you can head on over to our website. It is a very comprehensive course. There's quite a lot involved in it. It's a big package of great musical ideas that will connect you to a deeper musical spirit. However, if you just want to try out some of our more smaller courses, such as our Groove Everyday course, that will cost you just a mere $25 or £20. Whatever way you want to support yourself with your playing and support our channel, our ability to bring you this content wherever you are in the world here from London. One other thing you might want to do is also just head on over to our site and be a bit more of a window shopper. Check out our free resources. You just have to ask us. You have to go to our website, send us an email or contact us and say, hey, I'd like to try your free resources pack. We send that to everyone who inquires. It's been a pleasure sharing music and modes with you today, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.